Hey everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you from the Derek Gibson studio on the expensive first floor of the Winners and Whiners Sports and Entertainment Complex to bring you today's Deep-3. As always, if you would be so kind to like, even kinder to subscribe, we appreciate it. As always, guys, you guys blew it up yesterday. We're going to be right around 4,500 views, whole bunch of likes. Picked up a whole bunch of new subscribers, man. Keep up the great work. And we'll, on our end, we'll try to do a little better than we did yesterday with our picks, all right? Hey, speaking of good picks, let me know what you're playing. Tell me in the comments section what you got yourself down on today. Are you tailing the deep three, fading the deep three? Maybe you ain't touching the deep three at all. Maybe you got some picks cooked up from the soccer pitch across the pond. Or maybe you're playing a little Russian hockey, whatever it is. Hey, let us know. Put your pick in. When you get it right, we'll give you the shout out. You get enough of them right, just like Derek Gibson, you will be our capper of the day. Derek had to go to the film as I'd forgotten to put two of his WNBA plays in, so he ended up unseating the carrot and becoming our capper of the day for 2 days in a row. He's halfway home. He's halfway to the t-shirt, to the jersey. Can he get there? Can he complete the run of 4? Well, you have to stick around to find out, all right? And, of course, this time of year, man, there's no better resource than our two websites, winnersandwhiners.com, statsalt.com. Deep dives into all these college games, all these pro games, all in one easy-to-use reference area. What could be better? And, of course, our partner, pointsbet.com, great state of Iowa, great state of New Jersey if you're there. You're looking for some place to make a bet, check out PointsBet. You will not be disappointed. All right. So let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about. We're not going to talk about it a lot because Jesus, that was an ugly game. Hey, Terrible Football has a new home, and its home is Thursday night. Oh God. Yeah, there's no way to put this. We absolutely wiped out on just about everything we predicted. We had Carolina. That was probably my least favorite play of the three plays. We had a couple props with McCaffrey. You know what? I was out and about. I missed like the first 3 minutes of the game. I came back. I go, well, McCaffrey's already got one catch. Cool, we're right on track. They're going to use him. He had his next catch with about 2 minutes left in the game. I don't know what happened. He couldn't run the ball, and they used him as a decoy a lot to clear out the middle part of that zone. To clear out the gap between the second and third level of the defense, and it worked. Newton had guys open all night long, had his wideouts on crossing patterns, and had him over the middle. He hit him about half the time, and the other time he was just dreadful. Just holy shit. You know, maybe I'm spoiled watching Pat Mahomes throw the ball, but these quarterbacks, they're making, as Kramer said in Seinfeld, these quarterbacks are making me thirsty. Those guys were just dreadful. Jameis Winston connected a couple times down the field. He was probably a little better. So congratulations in the barefoot land. You're the man with one shoe. Way to go, Jameis. So anyway, wipe out completely. I did make one good pick on this game, guys, and we had it on the premium side. We played the under 49. I thought that was pretty much a rock solid play, as these teams just haven't been able to get it done. Certainly wouldn't be able to sustain long drives, and that's exactly what happened. Carolina had a couple short fields. They were able to kick a field goal, but God forbid if they had to go 80 yards. They did have a nice drive at the end of the game, which ended with a trying to get a little fancy there. Although I don't blame him, man. You're 4th and 1. McCaffrey's been stuffed all night long, and they try a little trickeration there. And you got to admit, all the options were covered. It was a run pass option. There wasn't any spot for Newton. They sussed it out that way, but they did a nice job of stringing out McCaffrey and not letting him get the first down. So there you have it. Then Bob's your uncle. So we also had the Oakland Athletics team total under 3.5 against Justin Verlander. That cashed for us. I'm not going to say it cashed by a lot, but it cashed. So we went to 2-0 on the premium side. So you know what? It's Friday. It's Friday the 13th. No triskaidekaphobia here, folks. We're going to take a look at these three college games, man. First off, we're going to start with that battle in the ACC as the North Carolina Tar Heels travel right up the road, take on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Wake Forest home favorite minus 3 points. Folks, this is the battle of the freshman quarterbacks as Wake Forest Jamie Newman squares off against North Carolina's Sam Howell. Both of these quarterbacks have great numbers so far, although one team has played much better competition. Newman, he has averaged 356.5 yards per game. He has 7 touchdowns versus 0 picks. He's completed 74.3% of his passes. Sam Howell for the Tar Heels, well, he's averaged 259.5 yards per game passing, 4 touchdowns, no picks. And, like I said, the big difference, he's completed 64.6% of his passes. The big difference here, like I said, is the quality of the competition. Wake Forest, well, they've beat up on Utah State and and Rice. They didn't exactly beat up on Utah State as they won the game on the last possession there at the end of the game. Very entertaining game. If you remember back a couple of weeks, we had some action on that one. So it ended up going our way. But we liked Wake Forest there in that one. Actually, I don't think they covered. I think they were like -5, and they ended up winning by 4. So yeah, we lost out on them. But Utah State, certainly a very, very different kind of team than North Carolina is. North Carolina, they have beat Miami and they've beat South Carolina, two pretty good teams. Certainly better than Utah State or Rice. Although Utah State with their offense, okay. The Tar Heels defense, they literally abused South Carolina. Jake Bentley, both literally and figuratively, allowed him just 129 yards passing. They picked him off twice, and it basically ended his season with a foot injury. Now, we've heard a lot this week about this fantastic North Carolina defense, and they did look very, very good against South Carolina. However, against Miami, that's the one you don't hear about so much because they struggled with the Canes last week. They gave up 486 total yards. This defense is fast, but they wore down at the end of long drives by the Hurricanes. Only 3 teams have run more plays than Wake Forest, or ran more plays than. Say that again. Only 3 teams this season have run more plays than Wake Forest. Last year they were second as far as the number of plays that were run. So that does not bode well for a North Carolina defense that doesn't seem to do well finishing off drives as far as long drives go against competent offensive squads. Howell's getting more comfortable. They really had they kind of had the muzzle on him for the first week, but they're letting him take more shots down the field, and he's responded pretty well. He put up 298 yards last week after just 245 against South Carolina. Wake Forest defense, they're not awful. They gave up 35 to Utah State, which seems like a lot, especially at home. But remember, Utah State last year was the second highest scoring team in FBS, putting up 45.5. So they actually kept Utah State 9 points under their season average. Utah State's still pretty good. Yeah, I guess so. Last week they put up 137 total yards and 63 points. Now, it was against an FCS school, but still, that offense is still very, very good for Utah State. I think at the end of this one, the Wake Forest tempo, they're going to wear down the Tar Heels defense, and they get the home cover here in front of a very fired-up Demon Deacon crowd. And we're going to take a look here at the KU Jayhawks as they travel to take on the Boston College Eagles. KU, as you might know, is a terrible, terrible football team. They lost last week to a team that was projected to be last in the Sun Belt's Eastern Division. That is Coastal Carolina, and it's really hard to tell you. It's hard to express how bad this KU team is. They have put up 18 points at home against FCS. They put up 24. They've averaged 24 points at home against FCS team Indiana State and Coastal Carolina. They put up 24 against Indiana State, and they put up 12 against Coastal Carolina. That is not good. Boston College, they might take their foot off the gas later in the game, but I don't think KU is going to fare any better against the second and third team for the Eagles. The bet I like here is the KU Jayhawks team total under 15.5. Let me tell you, folks, if you can't get more than 12 against Coastal Carolina at home, you ain't hanging more than 2 touchdowns against Boston College on the road. Give me the Jayhawks to once again do absolutely nothing in this game. And how about a play? How about a play from the late game? We're going to take a look at the Washington State Cougars as they travel down to Houston, take on the Houston Cougars. Let's start with the premise that Mike Leach and his mullet squad is going to get theirs, all right? That air raid offense is going to get points, and they're going to get yards, and they're going to do it by throwing the football. They're not quite Oklahoma, but they aren't far off. This air raid offense has been great so far this year. They put up 1,212 total yards, including 988 through the air. The quarterback Gordon has been great. He's completed 80% of his passes, 9 TDs, 1 pick. Now, ready to step into the national spotlight. You know what? Houston, you're going to stop the Cougars' running game. Mullet hair, he don't care. No one ran the ball less than Wazoo last season, and no one threw more passes. Even though head coach Dana Holgorsen is off the Leach coaching tree, worked with him under there at Texas Tech after he played for him. He runs a similar offense, but Holgorsen is going to try to rely on the run a little bit more. Might be able to have a little success, although this Wazoo run defense has actually been pretty stout. They were 34th in the nation last year, giving up just 141 rushing yards per game. De'Aaron King, they're going to be fired up there in Houston. They're going to get a few points, but they're going to have to do it by throwing the ball, and that's one of two things is going to happen when Houston has to rely a lot more on the pass than they're used to. They're either going to complete the passes and they're going to move the ball faster down the field, or King's going to be harassed and throw incompletions, stopping the clock, and giving the ball back to Washington State. Either one of those options works just fine for us, as we're going to play the over 73.5. All right? So, let's get down on the Washington State-Houston Battle of the Cougars over 73.5 and the KU Jayhawks. If there was a relegation like they do in soccer, this team would be playing in like the MEAC or something, okay? KU team total under 15.5 and started off as the Wake Forest Demon Deacons win a hard-fought battle there against their Golden Triangle brethren and take care of business against North Carolina, covering the 3 points at the end of those 3 games. We're going to start off our weekend right. We got no fear of Friday the 13th, no triskaidekaphobia here, folks. We're going to pick up our winning tickets and head back to the window. All right, guys, let's take a quick look at the premium picks here. We talk about it. We are, for lack of a better term, we're kind of crushing on the premium side. 15-8-1 on the over the month of September. Doing very well on our football picks and our NFL picks as well. So if you want to get down on the premium stuff, get yourself over there, follow that link, click on all the appropriate buttons, and we can do it just like that. Love to have you on the team, all right? So with that being said, let's see how you guys did yesterday. Hopefully you did better than I did. We'll start off with the Mad Carrot. Mad Carrot said, I concur, said the Panthers cover easily. Power and Knowledge, too, came back and said, Tampa Bay's going to have y'all crying. Carrot, he came back and said, how about a friendly wager, a little Bitcoin to Bitcoin? It'll be fun. And then, of course, after the game, Knowledge and Power came back to talk a little shit to Carrot. Carrot said, you should have bet. That's right. You should have put your money where your mouth was. Absolutely correct. Then, Carrot went out and had a pretty damn fine day on his soccer and tennis picks. We had one tennis pick still going on. It was risky, but on his other 9, he went 7-2, so not too shabby there, Mad Carrot. Ariel Perez said, thanks, boss. I made my first bet yesterday and won. Yes! Oh, man. I'm really, really happy for you, Ariel, that you made a bet and won. However, sometimes I wish people wouldn't win their first bet. I think I've told you guys before, the first time I ever bet on High Ally, I was down in Florida. I walked into the Fronton, what they call the High Ally place, and I had no idea what I'm doing. I bet a 4, 5, 6 trifecta. Son of a bitch, if it didn't hit, I won like $900 my first, $8 bet or whatever it was, and I probably never won another High Ally bet in my life. Again, my only piece of High Ally advice, it's a game from the Basque region of France and Spain. They bring players over, except they have to have a certain number of American players. So if you go and they introduce them, and they have Raul, Pablo, Jose, and Jim. Don't bet on Jim, okay? Don't bet on pasty thighs. That's all I'm telling you. So, Ariel, congratulations. Hopefully you keep the winning streak going. Hopefully you were nowhere near any of my picks today from the Deep-3. Miguel and Nola. Hey, man. Miguel had him a nice trend, and he was absolutely right. He said the Bucks +7 says the division game. In Cam's last 6 versus the Bucks, he's thrown 11 interceptions. They're going to stack the box and let the front 7 eat. That, my friend, is exactly what they did. I thought Cam would be able to get the ball to McCaffrey on the edges. I thought it would open up a little bit for his receivers, which it did. They dared him to throw it, and they had the guys open, but they just couldn't get it done. They have Golston, Sue, and Vita V, which they all had great games. I can't give you enough props, Miguel. You absolutely called that one correctly. We're going to call you 1-0 plus 100. Derek Gibson pointed out that I did forget to include his WNBA picks, so that's what made him the capper of the day yesterday, as he went 2-0. Dr. G out in Vegas says NFL tonight, Iron Maiden tomorrow night. Rock on, dude. Big Iron Maiden fan. I think Bruce Dickinson is one of the absolutely criminally underrated lead vocalists of all time. What a terrific voice. 666, Run to the Hill. Just, yeah. Anyway, okay. So I hope you have fun. Hope you did good tonight, Doctor. And hope you have fun at Iron Maiden tomorrow night. Man, that was the most energetic band I ever saw. They're not quite as energetic as they used to be. Man, I saw them a long time ago. And those dudes, the guitar players, Bruce Dickinson, they were all just constantly in motion on the amps and the monitors and shit. So very entertaining show. Eric Nesbitt said Tampa Bay +7.5 all day. Said grab the candy. I don't know where he got the half point from. I don't know where he got the candy from, but he's definitely did good on that call right there. Eric, you went 1-0 plus 100. Mike Lou, he's got some NFL picks, so we'll get to those over the weekend. Cody L, congratulations on those 5,000 subs. Said I remember back when we were 700 to 900, and then he says we're moving on up. Yeah, absolutely, Cody. Thanks for the props, and I absolutely remember those days, man. It was still a lot of fun. But it was definitely a different kind of thing that we were doing. So yeah, very cool, man. Thanks for being with us for so long. Thanks for hanging in there. DJ Ron, it could be DJ Ron too, or Ruin also, but he's got a couple plays from FIBA tomorrow. We'll talk about those. Ninja, he was on the Washington Nationals on the money line. You know what, Ninja? I didn't look that up, dude. I don't know how you did. I'm gonna assume you won that one. Guwap Gucci, well, I'll tell you what, Guwap Gucci, got some kind words for Guwap. He is the 3rd richest member of Brick Squad 1017. Nice job, buddy. That's a tough squad. Nice job. Tyler Enterline says, I appreciate your videos. You subscribe. Going to keep watching from here on out. Love your setup here. Well, Tyler, thanks very much for the kind words. We appreciate your subscription. Stop by and see us, and we promise that we will not go 0-3 every day on the Deep-3. We've actually done pretty well, especially in football. So we consider this a temporary setback. Kent P, he gave us congrats on the 5K as well, and then he went out and did not have his best day. He had tailed us on a couple of the picks, and well, that's where you run into a problem right there. Kent, however, has pledged to donate $1 to his favorite charity every time Cam Newton throws a terrible pass. So Kent, I want to see about taking out a loan, buddy. It's going to be an expensive year. The astute Aardvark said the McCaffrey bet went up to 120. So I still like it to happen, but less at that price. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, saying you backed away from that, Aardvark. Jamel Stone said, sheesh, way too much talking. Man, are you in the wrong place, brother? I appreciate your input, but I've said it before. I'm an old dude, and it's way too late for me to start changing my ways. So, I might. Well, maybe I'll do another tutorial on the fast forward button on YouTube, like I did last year. So you can get right to the picks, and don't have to listen to everything else. All right. Derek Gibson, he tried to go 3 straight, man, but it didn't work out, as he had he pushed on the Red Sox. And then he ended up taking a couple of McCaffrey plays, over 6.5 receptions, over 60.5 yards. Derek's 2-day reign as capper of the day was extremely peaceful, and he was a very benevolent king of the degenerates. So congratulations, Derek. Well done on the last 2 days. But today, our profitable cappers, Eric Nesbitt and Miguel and Nola, and our capper of the day, the one, the only, this time I mean it, regardless of how that risky pick turns out, we don't even need any risky business. It is the Mad Carrot Hates Sports. Mad Carrot, God damn it. Once again, my friend, you are our capper of the day. You are the king of the degens. Way to go, buddy. So, you guys, let's rally, all right? It's time to get hot. Let's get hot started tonight, okay? Hit the weekend in the right way, going 3-0. We'll head into the weekend going strong, and regardless of what happens, we'll be back here tomorrow. We'll bitch about our bad beats. We'll bitch about our terrible picks as well. We'll brag about our fat stacks, and we'll fire it up, and we'll do it all again. You guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.